Cassava, going. J-Money.
Yo, John King, Jungle, TNS, Third Eye.
Yo, Tugs Bunny with you. Armor. Zero.
Madam Bad.
So me tell him, yeah. No matter how hard this life gets, still I go hold it out. Get your youth, me I hold it out. J-Money. No matter how hard this life gets, we still I go hold it out. Get your youth, me I hold it out. Yeah.
Life get hard, enjoy the turn real. Yeah, John Dog.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Sun Up on 7. That was a song from John King, who was one of the victims of the various shooting incidents that happened over this weekend. As we know, John King was shot while at a friend's house, and he died over the weekend. So today we're having a conversation to remember his legacy as an athlete, to remember his legacy as an artist. And joining us via Zoom, we have Mr. Kerwin Ramirez. Kerwin, good morning. Can you hear us? Kerwin?
Yes, I can hear you guys clear.
Great. Good morning. Thank you for joining us on this conversation. As you remember,
I can hear you guys clear.
Great. Thank you. Thanks for that feedback. So we're going to be engaging in the conversation to remember the legacy of John King. Ren, should we get started?
Yeah, we should get started. I think there's just a slight backlog with him being able to hear us because he's
Audio.
answering. So just we'll be mindful of that. So when it comes to John King, Karen, can you tell us a little bit about your interpretation of what his life has been like? I know you've been in the music industry for a very long time too, as well as you produce conscious music. So I know you can be able to talk on that standpoint of having him and appreciating his music, what he stands for, the messages, the reporting that he brings. I think Jules was comparing him to like a journalist telling us of what's happening on the streets and just sharing the stories of people that have been hurt so much and are going through all the struggles that people don't really talk about enough. So could you tell us a little bit about just the importance of having his type of music and his impact in society and his life and his legacy?
So basically, John King and I go back then. We're in high school at Johnson Technical. So I knew him for a while, you know. And when he was at high school, John King, he loved sport. He was a great, great athlete at high school. And then I started to notice that he loved music too. He loved to sing. So at that time, I used to encourage him. I said, man, come into the studio with me. That time, he was probably about 16, 15. I said, let's go to the studio so we can record and do music and stuff together. So John King spent some of his time in St. Mike, is the place where I'm from. And then he went to Belize, and I didn't see him for a while. And then he came back to St. Mike, and he said, bro, I have these music, but I'm looking for someone to do music video. So I said, let me hear your music. I hope it's positive stuff, because if anything negative, I ain't going to do it. So his music was very great, and he had a great, great, great talent. So I was one of the person who was the first person to shoot his first music video for him. Who John King was, and what what a day would be like when you're spending time with John King. John King was a person who full of so much energy. If you're sad, he's gonna make you smile. He always loved to dance, sing, and do music. And to talk to John King before, and he started to have a great passion for music, and he wanted to travel the world so the world can able to see the talent that he had. So I remember, because he had his team in Belize, the Teenage Family, that is his musical team. For me at St. Mike, there's someone who encouraged him and want to help him to reach to a higher level, like what I always do with other young people. So he had a vision of go out into the world so the world can see him, and so the world can see the quality of music he had and the person he had. So that was his dream, to be one of the biggest artists the world could ever have. He don't say the biggest artist in Belize, the biggest artist in the world, because that's where his mind was. And he was working forward for that. I mean, say, Aaron John King releasing a new song, he always told me, hey, I'm releasing a new song. It's very excited of releasing a new song. Every time he shoot a new video, he will send me a clip of it and say, man, this is what's going on. This is what I'm doing. So to be in his presence at those times, it was a blessing because he encouraged me to continue to help others. He encouraged me to continue to do music just to see him loving what he do. You know what I'm saying? So it's so sad to lose him. I mean, everybody in St. Mike is sad. A lot of the young people. I talked to some of my friends and some of his friends in St. Mike. They said, man, we can't sleep at night. The first night when we heard that John King died, we wake up in the morning, he's in our mind. So he will be greatly missed from the people of St. Mike because we love him so much. You know, like what I say, he's always the person who will bring that happy energy wherever he go. He can be sad. He can go through so many things, but you will always see him smiling, laughing, and dancing. And that's a lesson for us in this world today, that we may go through our struggle, but it's always important to keep smiling, knowing that God have gave us life.
Yeah,
Most
Karen, thank you
definitely.
so much for sharing that, your sentiments, your history, your journey with him, because as you rightly say, it's tragic that this happened. It's sad, and we want to extend our condolences to residents of St. Vite as well. As you clearly mentioned, they're touched and affected by the situation as well. We are aware that his song "The Cursed" was what brought him to the spotlight. So if he didn't have the opportunity for him to travel the world met him through this song, which, as we know, it really like put him on the charts out there, and the message was really one of survival, one of resilience, one of speaking what's happening in his neighborhood. He was with us right after he came out from KHMH, and he was like, I have to share my story with the people out there. So I can clearly see, as you give us your view of him, I can see him being that way as well. So
Definitely.
wow.
I remember clearly the interview that we had with him actually when he was here. He just, like Kevin said, just came out from KHMH and he came here and he was talking about the shooting of this video. And we actually were showing the video too as well, where he's on the KHMH bed, like this is him recovering and he's making music. And he said like, no, because of being shot
He
and
was the
all
first
these things, he was able to say, you know what, this is why I have to push my music. This is something that has to be talked about. And he was like, just from there, you could tell the drive of needing and wanting to do much more music and also promote positivity. He mentioned about, you know, the Lord gave him a second chance to give more music, and that's what he was trying to do. And so in that regards, his legacy, what do you think is one of the most important things that he has taught other musicians out there?
Well, basically, one of the most important things that I learned from him, and I would like to advise other musicians, never give up on your dream, no matter where you come from or where you are. Everything is possible, because that's what John King shows. Because John King, he come all the way from Belize, and he find me at my house, and he say, I saw that you do great music video. I need your help. So he don't only stay in Belize, he come and search for the help. And that's what majority of us as Belizean artists can do. Stop sitting home and worried and say, I will never going to do it. We need to find opportunity, because many times opportunity do not come for us. We need to go and look for opportunity. After we find opportunity, then we help others with those type of opportunity. And then that's who John King was. He go and look for opportunity. Working with him, I even have to see right now, because I remember shooting that music video with him. He was at my house 6 o'clock in the morning, ready to do this music video.
That's
And
dedication.
I remember we shoot the video from 8 and we finished at 9 in the night shooting this video. And the reason why I had that energy with him, because he showed me how much he want the music video. And believe me, next morning, the music video was done because I didn't went and sleep. Because of his energy, inspired me to continue to work harder. So other Belizean artists out there, go and look for your opportunity. Sitting home, the opportunity will not come for you. But if you search and get connection with different producers and artists and stuff, that will help you.
That is
So that's
true.
just what I learned.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's a great message to say that he was a go-getter. He went out there to find his sound, to find people to collaborate with, to push his music, because he knew that nothing does have fall upon a lap in that sense, that you have to be able to go and you have to want it. And so we have here Mr. Amar Aldana, who is actually John King's manager. And so he's going to be able to talk a little bit about the relationship that he had with him, about that idea of seeking opportunity, going out there to get it. So, Mr. Amar, can you hear us? Amar, I want to talk a little bit about the relationship, or maybe the drive, because Kern was talking a lot about how John King was at his house at 6 a.m. in the morning, ready to do a video. He went all the way to St. Bite to go and just like do that video. He's always looking for opportunities. So for you as a manager, you know, working in that close collaboration with him, trying to seek opportunities, trying to find where you can push your music, how was that like? What was his drive and determination like?
Well, you know, it was his drive that made me want to work with him in the first place. I came down to Belize and spent about 5 months. And trust me, there was a lot of artists that wanted to work. And usually I have a lot of requirements as far as experience is one of the most. And people were surprised when I chose John King over a lot more experienced artists, because he had such an artist spark. You know, it was very rare. When a beat comes on, you see him light up. You see the energy. One thing that I like is an artist that's hungry to work and make products, because so many artists do one song and they get comfortable. But, you know, he was full of life, full of music. And it was the type of energy that I seen in an artist that I wanted to work with, that I believe in. And, you know, that's all I can really say. You know, a lot of times I'd say one of the biggest frustrations is, you know, we put out a couple songs and he was anxious to get out more because he's so excited. You know, having to teach him patience, you know, was something that we constantly had to do. But, you know, as one thing that I like is that as he watched the industry, he started to understand the importance of patience. And he said, he's saying, you know, I'll wait 2 years. I don't care how long I wait. Don't worry, shit out. We good. We just ready. We just waiting for his turn. Very humble, very honest, very pure soul. And he's going to be very much missed.
Yeah. Mr. Omar, I wanna ask you about, I mean, even though we are doing this tribute on John King and saying, you know, what was his legacy? What was it living next to him? For me, it really hits home when we think this is another young black man that was murdered. And his history is one where his music was able to share what was happening on the street, what was his reality. And often, like, whenever we think about that music, a lot of people would just give them the back and not want to pay attention to that. Why is it important for our viewers and people tuning in to hear this kind of music, hear the story, and ultimately, what should we grab from it?
I'll say positive music is always going to be important because it's the energy you put out there. You know, a lot of times, you know, Belizeans are highly influenced by what's going on in Jamaica. And when you see a bad man trend going on, we tend to follow those things. And a person's art is a part of their character. The life he lived wasn't a choice, something he wasn't proud of. So he just wanted to feed into his story. It's not something forced. It's just him being him. So what the importance of him being there is to show you that all these ghetto youths aren't thinking about busting guns. He gives you the variety to show you, to represent the positive youth that are just trying to overcome their struggles, you know, to go against the stereotypes of the people that come from the area. So I think that he represented a minority group, I guess, so to speak, or he showed you the light in some of the most darkest places, you know. And You know, that's like I say, his message was very important because there's a lot of Belizeans in the same situation that look for inspirational tunes, you know? So I think that's the best thing about his music, you know?
Thank you so much for that. At this time, we want to be able to play some clips that we have of John King. So this whole overall segment for people that maybe just tuned in and just trying to understand this, we want people to understand the legacy of having somebody like John King on the streets, having somebody that makes conscious music, having somebody that reports the pain, the struggles of a young Black person, of Black people in general, of living in quote unquote the ghetto, and but being able to surpass and be resilient. So we have a J Money interview that we want to be able to show so people can be able to hear.
At the moment when you were speaking with me, it was because of the police that came and harassed us when we were doing our video. We still we just try to keep it minimal with people and try to do our best to avoid have to go through that again, right? We still push, but we just now try to make it as much people and no kind of attraction to make them. Yeah. Everybody have a pain or have something that they are battling, right? So we're just telling the ghetto youth simply not to give up, right? To hold up, to keep believing their dream and their goals to achieve, because they can't achieve anything they want, right? It's just to make sure they keep pushing for what they want, right? Basically, with him getting shot, that's another thing that ghetto youth go through. In the ghetto, right, and in the hood.
So, but you have to give John King props. The man not resting at that. He is recording a music video from his hospital bed.
Yeah. That's to show you that we don't stop no matter what of the situation. We push. That's what we try to show the ghetto youth them, that no matter what battle you have, still push. Yeah.
And that was J Money, who was the artist that collaborated on Hold It On with John King. That is the song that he produced while he was in his hospital bed after just recently being shot. And it just shows, again, the dedication of this artist. And as you can see, J Money talking about, you know, being able to say the cries and speak on the struggles everybody's going through their own battle. And at this time, I want to ask and invite Kerwin and also Mr. Omar. I'll ask Kerwin first. So just give your final remarks as we're wrapping up this segment. Any messages you want to give from John King's perspective, an artist's perspective, or what as we're wrapping up?
Oh, I would like to just thank John King for the memories.
To be honest,
I'm sorry, brother.
I felt his death, and I would miss him, and I will continue to do music. And wherever I go, I will keep him in my heart. Because I had missed not only John King as an artist, but Ate was a big artist in the Belize too, who I keep in my heart. And for a message for young guys on the street out there who is holding guns, trying to kill people, sleep. There'll be a time when they're going to be judged for what they have done. Be careful of the choices you make. Love the life you live, but be careful of the choices that you make. Because one choices you can make, it can mess up your whole life.
All right. Thank you for that, Kerwin.
For the guys on the street, put the guns down. Violence, don't.
Thank you, Kerwin. Mr. Omar, can we get your final remarks as we wrap up this segment?
I just want to just thank John King for the memories, the music, the loyalty, the friendship. I'd say I haven't spoken to anyone since the event, to be totally honest. So this is kind of like my really first time really speaking on it. But, all I can say is, I love you, John, and just thank you for everything, man. Thank you for believing in me. That's all I got to say, man.
Thank you so much, Mr. Omar, for having this interview, as well as Kerwin. Right now, I know it's a hard time losing such a not just a working partner, somebody that has been a friend, somebody that has been able to share memories with you. And it's a difficult time. We send our heartfelt condolences here at Channel 7 and prayers out to you and all the people that John King has touched their lives, the community people, every single person. If you're able to go out and listen to his music, to just be able to be touched through the words and the legacy and the power of his messages, by all means, we implore you guys to go out there and listen to his music. As we're wrapping up this segment, we leave off with the song Breakout. So this is by John King as well, and so we'd like you all to hear this.
You're on Mac Records. Classic Big Swagman. TNS. Young man, a John King now. Say man, I got try to go struggle in a life, right? But now just wait my turn, like. That's a break me away, pan. Every morning as we wake, yeah, me just a give thanks, me live to see. No, me just a wait for me break. Come me have to make sure they remember me. Every morning as we wake, yeah, me just a give thanks, me live to see. No, me just a wait for me break. Come me have to make sure they remember me. Yeah, me don't work hard, so me have to work harder. Me don't smart, so me have to move smarter. Money tall, but me want it taller. Take care of my sister, my mother, and my daughters. Dog haters are fake and a chat. Know your friend, them man who got your back. Cause man, I pretend to be your friend. Watch where you spend, I pray everything where you got. Kill out one mind, I feel them. Pull out the Glock 9 for defend them. Man, I circle the ends and a big friend. Them wine, cause them know so we set trend. Every morning as we wake, yeah, me just a give thanks, me live to see. No, me just a wait for me break. Cause me have to make sure they remember me. Every morning as we wake, yeah, me just a give thanks, me live to see. No, me just a wait for me break. Cause me have to make sure they remember me. No, me not free my enemy. No, them won't get the best of me. So me just a live my life, but well like that, them can't drain me energy. No, me not free my enemy. No, them won't get the best of me. So me just a live my life, pop well like kite, them can't drain me energy. Every morning as we wake, yeah, me just a give thanks, me live to see. No, me just a wait for me break. Cause me have to make sure they remember me. Every morning as we wake, yeah, me just a give thanks, me live to see. No, me just a wait for me break. Cause me have to make sure they remember me. So me stepping at the place like a soldier, spiffing on my handgun, in on my holster. Lord God help me hold me composure, no need to expose it. Me and no waster. Violate John King, me a rose ya. One like coffee, but your body in a toaster. Comfortable drinking is like Kosa. Headshot every morning as we wake. Yeah, me just a give thanks, me live to see. No, me just a wait for me break. Cause me have to make sure they remember me. Every morning as we wake, yeah, me just a give thanks, me live to see. No, me just a wait for me break. Cause me have to make sure they remember me. Hey, Jungle, big up classic. Yeah, Young Lion, TNS. Had to get your youth, them for a dream. Make sure I reach for your dream, cause the sky's the limit. Alright, Billies and people, them, go and bless up same way. Listen, every morning as we wake,